I mean this in the most sincere way. As a new meat king, you scare me. You know so much. And I'm like looking over here at Zach, like we're talking about doing teams for like next year. If Zach if you guys teamed up, it would be a problem. I could just see you guys getting together.
He might be here for a long time.
Like, I mean, I could see you guys making a sentient meat cake. Like that.
AI.
Yeah, AI
chat cake. Please don't eat me.
Those are my fears right now, and I'm shaking.
Chat GTBeef.
There it is.
Chat GTBeef.
That might be the name of the episode.
Chat GTBeef. There we go. I decree it.
Another decree. Where's that sound drop? Nice.
Down. Ooh, I'm eating brunch with my people though. The homie Dyke just cooked up a feast and we bout to eat it, bro. Fucked around and has to mix the lobster with the poutine. Daddy is rolling blue dream. Them boys got down a routine. It's Naptown culture. Cooking 7 courses. Had to pass the torch and now I'm grabbing second portion. So sit back, relax, grab a drink and a smoke. It's Harder Brunch on the way and get prepared for the jokes. Whoa.
Oh my goodness, it is Meat Cake Day on Harder Brunch. Woo! You know that voice. My partner in crime, Thaddeus J. McKee.
Slap it, pap it, wham, wham.
On the ones and twos, the wheels of steel, the sauce boss of Indianapolis, and the last woke dragon. Give it up for Zach Roan.
Are you ready for some meat cake? Woo!
I like how you said that I got a new meat cake drop, and it's just the NFL drop. And a very special guest with us in studio, chef and the 2023 Meat King Meat Cake Invitational Champion, Chef Stephen Hackney. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, guys. Everybody bow to the Meat King.
Yes.
Thank you.
Your Majesty. And your +1 in studio with us, your helper for the Meat Cake Invitational. Rooster, is that what you said you went by?
It's fine. Yeah.
How did you get the name Rooster?
Honestly, it dates all the way back to MySpace. I just filled out like a questionnaire thing, and it gave what's your gangster name? It was the Rooster, and gave like who's my arch enemies, and Jimmy Left Hands was my arch enemy. And then I had to pick a second name for a gamer tag in a game called Second Life. So it's Rooster Misfit. It's just my gamer tag across the board everywhere.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you guys put together. You had an amazing meat cake this year, and obviously you won. You're also the first male meat king that we've ever had.
Wait a second, that's bullcrap.
The first ever one.
All right,
don't assume my gender.
Yeah, Dyke, you just stepped in hot crap right there at the beginning. And 2, Zach, you go ahead, say your words.
I don't understand how you don't remember the first year. Yeah. Like, it's the 3rd year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the Meat King first year.
I know.
Bridget was the Meat King second. Oh.
Dude, he's so jealous right now.
Burn sinks in.
Tell everybody about your wonderful award-winning meat cake.
Wow. Today, I actually pulled off my vision for a shredded pot roast stuffed meatloaf lava cake. So it was a big rectangle full of gravy and beef with these little pig sculptures on top and a carved bologna barn that I smoked. So we had all that on top, and the pigs were wrestling in the gravy, and we got to cut it up, and it held the whole time, and people loved it.
That was in all of meat cake history. That was the most meat cake that we've ever seen.
I took the 95% rule to heart, or 95% rule. It was definitely, I went gluten-free and used pork rinds instead of breadcrumbs in the meatloaf.
That was great.
More meaty.
I've never seen a meat barn before. That was great. The smoke. I knew we were in trouble when you posted that.
Spoiler! I didn't give all of it away.
I was like, oh man, and I called it a meat church online because the steeple.
Yeah,
it was great.
Good. Would we kiss under the meat shirt?
Yeah, it was.
And this isn't a diss, but like yours looked like it had like this, like a kid made it, like a kid feel, like
claymation.
Yeah, like hey, I can sit my kids in front of this cartoon. This looks like a pretty safe house, edible house. That's all meat. And like it was cool because I remember I had a couple people's before yours, and yours was such a relief. The flavor, like it really knocked my socks off. I'm like, this guy's in it to win it. Like it was hot. It was very good.
Thank you.
I've got to say that Bridget Horan, peace be upon her, is the people's champion of the 2023.
She did awesome again this year.
You upset her as meat or upset? Is that what it's called? I don't know sports jargon.
Well, we can make our own jargon.
It wasn't upset, but you upset her as Meat King, but she still managed to. I told her early before everything was announced. I said, if you win both, our friendship is over. That's what I told her. I was like, we're not going to be friends anymore.
She had to be dethroned.
We're done. Yeah. Well, she was on the throne when they called her name as the winner too. She was in the bathroom.
Oh, was she really?
Yeah. That's why she didn't come up there. But it was like, oh, where's she at? I was like, I don't know. She's
that would happen to Bridget. Like she would just be like, yeah, I won and I was on the bathroom. That's the totally Bridget story. Go ahead.
There was amazing. We had seven chefs this year. We're gonna be posting all week. Descriptions and pictures of all the meat cakes. Zach, do you want to talk about your meat cake?
Yeah, I'll talk about mine. I did pretty and pink salmon cupcakes. I had a salmon cupcake and then a cream cheese icing, some remoulade in there, and then a cured salmon roast on top with caviar.
It was sexy.
And I loved your smoked barn. I really loved your the little pigs wrestling on top. That was super awesome. First time there's been a sculpture at Meat Cake, so I thought that was really cool. I also like that Dyke did all pies this year, which I thought was an interesting choice for a cake competition.
Is it pie cake?
He did two types of pie, and then he did Scotch egg. And I don't know if any of those are cakes, but I'll pass it to him.
It was an abstract cake. I think it's what it was. Yeah.
It's in your mind. The cake's in your mind.
The cake is in your mind. It's the cake that you're not tasting that I entered into the contest. Man, it was really fun and cool, and to look around, it seemed like everyone's entries really kind of like spoke to their personalities. You know, everybody's was like very different from each other. There wasn't like, 7 just wedding cakes made of meat, I couldn't have been more happy. I could have been more happy with the entire event.
I have to shout out the style for me goes for Grace Cook. I couldn't stop looking at the octopus coming out of the cake. That has to be mentioned. It was so cool.
The tentacles were actually really good.
Yeah, it was great. And then again, I want to shout out Bridget, Audience Award. She had her things in line. Like she knew what she was doing, and the flavor was good. I had a whole bunch of people come up to me like, she's probably going to win. But you upset her, so.
It was stiff competition. I was nervous.
Yeah. I was too.
Were you sweating when they were drum rolling?
The meat sweats?
It's hard to ignore that feeling that you get when you know a judgment's coming. So
yeah,
I definitely got it there at the end, right? But I'm just out here for fun.
Yeah. I like how you pulled up meat sweats right there. Is that a time to do an advertisement? For the meat sweats. I hope they're getting this. I hope this angle is as well, because this could be really bad.
This is gonna be our last episode, by the way.
We're retired.
Jess West made some amazing prints. There's multiple of these, and we're gonna be selling these. So get your meat sweats. Oh
yeah. You can have your cake and eat it too.
We have to rate this episode R now.
Yeah, I think we just got demonetized.
Demonetized? Is that where you get a demon in you and you lose money at the same time?
Yeah. Oh my gosh! What else did we have? We had the meat cake beef cake. We had Aaron walking around with his shirt off.
We did have Aaron. You had to be there. He's a bodybuilder. He was walking around shirtless, and everybody accepted it. It wasn't an event where there wasn't anybody being like, "No, this shouldn't be happening." No, everybody was like waving. Like they were sweating.
Didn't you have a saxophone at one point?
Yeah, there was a saxophone. We were gonna dance to the song "What's Up with That," Ooh Wee, by SNL. But the DJ didn't have the song, but the DJ did a really good job too. Shout out DJ Steven in the Moon.
Yeah, everyone did really well except for Ross Katz, who wasn't there. He got COVID, so he did a really bad job. Okay. I'd say he had the worst entry.
What is this? Dyke was like, make an announcement, but don't say he had COVID. I was like, all right, I won't say he had COVID. And then he's on here. More people are listening to this.
You're right, yeah.
We're at the BK. Okay.
Yeah, we're not sure why he didn't show up, actually.
Yeah, he didn't have COVID is what I'm supposed to say.
Shout out to Ross. He invited me.
Yeah?
Oh, really? Wow. What a poetic justice.
Sorry I didn't get to compete against you, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, man, so you are the Meat King for the entirety of the year till next year. If you so choose to defend your crown. There are some perks of being the Meat King. You get to make a declaration that lasts for the entire year. Was that what we said last time? Bridget requested we took a sound drop off of the board. It was her moaning in ecstasy that we used to play all the time. She was like, I don't want that on there.
Wait, does that come back on?
I think it does. Yeah, we had a year. We took it off the board.
Oh, well, I was going to say that he could just say it to bring it back on.
Yeah, that is actually up to the Meat King. That's not up to us.
I have to come up with my own decree.
Well, so I think one of the things is anytime that you want to pop in on a Sunday between the hours of 12:30 and 4, and if you want to come down and jump on the podcast, for a couple minutes, you are so inclined to do that as Meat King. And just make decrees that you don't have to make one right now off the top of your head, but
you take your time.
You can make them at your leisure. But like,
you also get a sound drop. So if you have a sound drop that you want us to do regularly, we will get that for you. So we can make a sound drop that happens here.
I'm gonna have to ponder on these guys. We need the right decision.
Yeah. What if you just chose like the N word? Like, I didn't think of it, but like, for a whole year, our podcast is racist.
There's always a loophole. There's always a loophole. Well, oh my gosh, I am just like flustered. Was there any point in the making of the meat cake where you were like worried at all that something wasn't going to turn out the way you wanted it to? Or did you have any components that you had to abandon along the way? Because I sure did.
It actually came out exactly as I wanted.
Okay.
As the meat king. So, but I'm realistic about it. I gave it a 30% chance of just falling over the whole time.
Okay.
Because it's 15 pounds.
Yeah.
Just suspended by ground beef. Just myosin bond between the protein there. So the real nervousness was, how do I make it each layer so it comes together and then doesn't fall apart?
Yeah.
And then what has to be hot, what has to be cold during assembly. So there's a lot of thought that went into it for a meatloaf. And I just kind of gave myself all week to carve those pigs. Like on the schedule on the side of our fridge, you got Monday through Sunday. Wednesday was carved piggies at lunchtime. Thursday was carved piggies at lunchtime, and so was Friday. And then Saturday, throw it all together.
Much better time management skills than I had this week.
How was your time management, Zach? Because I'm always interested to hear how Zach prepares as well.
No, I mean, I very much am working on things the week out. Like I like to at least do my recipe 3 or 4 times, like for the cake part of it. So I'll do little mini ones. And then, sample. And the same thing with like the icing. Like I want to at least make the cake once, at least like in a tiny scale, and practice decorating it so that I can kind of wing it when I get there and it looks good. But no, I mean, I was working on things. The only thing I did this morning was actually bake all my cakes and make my icing.
I think you had the best setup. Like your setup looked like it was catered.
It was gorgeous.
Yeah. And you guys were both wearing your pink shirts. They had a nice through line through everything. It was really nice. One of my favorite things was that Michael Gomez was very hungover the whole time, and he was just struggling the entire time. He looked like he wanted to die.
He's got a lot of mentions for the taste too. That barbecue sauce, yeah, that really saved everything.
He's trying to summon you.
Well, I just thought it should also be said that, like, just like I themed mine, it kind of looked like Gomez dressed like his meat cake.
Yeah.
Ouch.
It did look like there was a massacre happening. I didn't want to have to be the one that said it, but I liked it. I was like, this is like a very nice rustic look. And he's like, kind of looked at me like, F you, fad. And I'm like, oh, I'm really trying to compliment. I thought that's what you're going for. But he was like, it was so good. His was really flavorful. And that scotch, are you peeing? Sorry, it just sounded like someone was peeing to the side of me. I just heard this.
Just peeing off camera.
We're getting really loose here, guys.
I like to relax after meat cakes.
You're allowed to. It's Meat King Day.
I have an announcement.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
My genetics are multiplying at a rather slow rate. I have a son on the way in the next couple weeks.
Hey, congratulations.
Wow. What a special day. You become king 2 weeks before your son is born.
He might be the meat prince for the year.
Meat prince.
Yes.
Well, that's a heavy load.
Gonna be a dad.
It was a heavy load.
Hey.
Oh, it's stuck. That load stuck.
There you go. There you go. Shout out to the hookah maker. Coming in hot.
I got to tell you, I'm a big fan of your Instagram. What is it, at?
Chef Hackney.
Chef Hackney. You are the reason I even mentioned, invited you to be on this is because you have a very meat forward Instagram account, and everything that you post on there looks beautiful. And so like kind of what's your relationship with meat? Like what made you, like, why are you such a meat guy?
My relationship with meat started catering for weddings back in like 2014, doing whole pigs on the smoker.
Nice.
And so when you're the guy manning the smoker, you're like the king of the meat. And I was always that guy at the catering events for a few years, and I smoked 150 pigs.
So that sounds like a villain. Smoked. You know what I did last night? I smoked 150 pigs.
It was a massacre.
Yeah, 12 did not see it coming.
Just line up across the donut shop street with a sniper rifle.
So you were accustomed to staying up late and having long hours there?
Service industry my whole career now, and I like to hop around. I worked the grill at steakhouses. I worked butcher shop and pubs, and just learned the high end side, the low end pub side that everybody really likes. And I'm always trying to bring those two things together: the comfort of what you want, and then the sexiness of what's hard to attain on the plate right in front of you. And in that home cooking style, very personal to you. All my clients get exactly what they're asking for, and then beyond.
Wow.
That's great. And did you used to own a food truck or work for a food truck?
I built a food truck for my aunt's marshmallow company, and then I was the front man and owner of that. So I would go down to Kentucky every weekend and sell marshmallows off my little trailer. I was famous in Kentucky as the marshmallow guy, man. You see my hot dog leggings today. I was wearing leggings in front of my truck trying to bring in the moms with their kids to buy the marshmallows, you know. It was the marketing scheme of 2016 was leggings on a man. And it worked.
It worked.
Yeah.
It did. He had quite a few.
We sell over $250,000 on that trailer in 15 months, and it was a 12-month business plan, so it just kind of moved on to the next thing after that.
There was always lots of people lined up for it.
Oh, wow.
So you saying if we go into leggings as Harder Brunch, we might make a killing?
Yeah, maybe.
Sex appeal. It sells.
No, he sold $250,000 marshmallows, not leggings.
Oh, I thought...
The leggings helped sell the marshmallows.
I knew what was going on the whole time.
That marshmallow company is long gone from some reality TV and non-disclosure agreements. I'm not allowed to sell marshmallows for profit anymore.
What?
Whoa.
Wait, hold on a second.
Whoa.
Like for the rest of your life?
Basically, I asked my chef at the time, I go to ask her if I'm allowed to do it. She says no. Like, just don't. And so what I do Italian meringues now when I really need a marshmallow for a catering. But I don't put gelatin in anymore, so it's just never a marshmallow because I might get in trouble.
Well, that's weird because you gave me a marshmallow upstairs.
No, I did not.
And I said, "What do I owe you for this?" And you said $5. I was like, "What the fuck?"
But there was cash. There's no paper trail. How are you going to prove it?
Okay, well, I'm not. I got gotten then, I guess.
Oh yeah, you could have done meat marshmallows on a. I mean, I guess you can't, but like somebody else could.
I don't know about that. You can. You weren't the owner
I can
of
use
the
science
company.
instead of gelatin and still come up with something, I'm sure.
You weren't the owner of the company. You can do whatever you want.
Well, if you just vary the recipe so much, and it's public knowledge anyway, you can't copyright a recipe, but I don't really know all the details of that contract, so I just avoid marshmallows now.
What reality show were you on?
You could make a marshmallow 9.
It was called The Profit.
Oh, I remember that show.
That Shark Tank channel. Marcus Lemonis came to our place and he bought us like 40 grand in sheet pans that came in a pallet, and we had to like spend 3 days unloading. What was it? 2,000 sheet pans or something.
Oh my god!
$20 a pop. There's like a pallet of sheet pans.
Were you the winner of the show, of the episode?
It fell through.
Oh, so you filmed it and it just never aired, or what?
It aired for a little bit. It was a mess, man. They tore up our social media accounts for our businesses and stuff. So.
Oh wow!
They couldn't come to a deal, right? Is that what it was?
Well, at some point the NDAs are just up, so they just don't bother with us anymore.
Okay.
That's interesting.
But shout out to Marcus Lemonis. We went and bought our trailer from Camping World, even though he screwed us.
What?
What'd you end up doing with the trailer?
Oh, like our current camping trailer. We take it camping. I go cook on fires.
Oh, nice.
The trailer food truck, it just dissolved. We used the money to buy a bigger food truck and then sold that back in 2020 when every chef wanted his own food truck.
Man, that was the time to do it. Why didn't I do that?
But I pioneered that shit, man. I've always been the food truck guy.
What was the original one?
The S'moremobile.
Oh, the S'moremobile.
Here, I want to hit that S'moremobile one more time. Like, I know how, like, with weed now, they're making D8s and D9s, right?
I know. Why don't we make happier marshmallows?
But if we make a D8 or a D9 marshmallow,
I
think, no.
Not me.
No.
I'll CFO it.
I'm not the guy to make it. You're the guy to sell it, though.
Just can't legally do that.
But if it's
because of the marshmallow part, not the weed part.
Who would have thought that would have been the hang up? Marshmallow, not the weed. Like, I can put weed in it for you, but not marshmallow. I don't want the man. I remember when I had the first friend that I had that lived in Denver when they legalized weed, and I was like, "What's it like legalize weed?" And he was like, "It's crazy, man." He was like, "I was in a park smoking weed the other day, and a cop came up and walked right past me and told someone that was drinking a beer that they couldn't have glass in the park." I was like, "Oh yeah."
Good thing he brought papers then.
Yeah.
Didn't want to get in trouble.
That's gotta be fun. Did we leave anybody out of the meat cake competition that we didn't talk about? Hold on, Zach's trying to. Ashley Brooks, of course, giant on the scene of Indianapolis. She had like a sweet and savory one that it was the first meat cake that had I think has ever had powdered sugar on it.
Yeah, she did her history with it. She did in the 1930s when they ran out of I think flour or something like that. They would use pork rinds, and so that was the base of her cake, and it tasted really good. And it had some liver in there too.
Yeah, it was like a liver mousse on top.
A little moisture on there. It's good.
It was like a good dessert. I really liked
it.
it.
I thanked her for that bite.
And it was smart. I like it when people do something different. Like someone like Zach, he did little cupcakes so everybody could enjoy it as an individual. Dyke, you kind of had to chop yours up. It was a little bit messier than what Zach did.
Zach's presentation killed to the individual person. Mine was slop on a plate too.
Yeah, it still tasted good, but you saw what was going on in front of your eyes.
That was all part of the experience, the deconstruction.
Yeah. Ashley had hers in little cakes that you could eat easily, and you had that little whip on top of it. So it was good.
Let's do it again next year.
Yeah.
That's great.
Is that your first decree?
I decree that the Meat Cake Invitational is every year going forward.
Oh, hey,
Good call.
Nice.
So also next year, I think that we are going to have a side category because we've had a lot of requests of people that don't eat meat. So we are going to have a vegan subcategory.
Fruitcake.
It has to be. You have to at least argue that it is a vegetable protein. Like you can't just make a cake and be like it's a vegan cake.
Well, you can make like a fruitcake, right?
Yeah, you can make a fruitcake.
That's what I'm in.
But
Can you do both?
You could do you could do whatever. Tofu, you could do seitan, you could do jackfruit. But I think we'll have a side category for vegan chefs. We only need like 3. I don't think we need to go too crazy with it.
But we doubled the size of last year, so
we did.
If the
Do you think we're just going to double every year? Is that what we're going for?
Maybe. I'm not against big numbers.
In like 6 years, you'll have to rent out the convention center.
Yeah.
It's going to be everybody. It's going to be like, yeah.
Nice. I got real excited for this event because, like how you guys kind of started it with probably talking shit down here.
That's how it all starts.
I wanted to do a spam carving competition where we get spam to send us like 20-pound blocks.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then each chef gets one and you got to make a dish with the scraps. And
Zach,
then you get judged on your carving.
Zach's in.
That's great.
So that's what I tried to channel with my little piggies.
Yeah.
Made of spam.
That's a brilliant idea, actually.
You guys are already doing it, so I think we're kind of tie that together now. Maybe get Spam to sponsor this shit.
Yeah, we'll get Spam. Let's call Spam up.
Or some Big Baloney. We got to call Big Baloney.
Big Baloney.
That could be the decree. The next competition is a spam carving competition.
Could be the decree. I'll work on that.
I like the idea of having subgenres. Within, like we have the meat cakes and we have the vegan side ones. I think our goal is with meat cakes is almost that like there's so much going on in between meat cakes. Like we want to add more stuff, like side stuff for people to do. Like when people first came there, I was like, oh yeah, we forgot. We didn't tell anybody what to do. So people are just walking around. They've never been there. They're just like, am I supposed to eat this now? Like, what are we doing? Like, no, you look at it for an hour first. You take photos.
People were begging to get inside my lava cake, man. I was like, I got to get judged by Stretch first, you know?
Yeah.
Got to let him see the cake.
Oh, man. Oh, shout out to our panel of judges also. Like, we had, I think the dog just knocked the camera.
The dog's been moving the camera around.
It's all right. It's all right.
I thought you were playing footsie with me, Thad.
Stretch from Follow the Money podcast. We had Chris Benedict from Love Handle, Chef Alan Sternberg, and Chef Cindy Hawkins from Circle City Sweets. They all did an amazing job of judging, and they told me I was real close to getting that second place. You know, it was just like,
wait, is that facts or is that law?
They collectively.
War?
I mean, they said I was like second or third or fourth place. Yeah, for sure. They said I was in
Zach,
there.
we're gonna have to fact check that.
Jesus, what is happening today?
I mean, I don't know what any of the judges said. I didn't get a look at it, but I did look at what Dyke did, and I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that those were the best pies that in the joint.
Look, I didn't have any leftovers. It was all gone. It was all scrap.
Man, I didn't think the crap talking was going to start this early.
It was a shallow cake. That's what I'm going with. It was a very shallow cake.
That's what I was trying to go as deep as possible, but it's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard to build a meat cake.
I like the idea of carving something out. One of my ideas was. Originally I wanted to do a demi-glace fountain next to it because I couldn't find my fountain.
You're giving your secrets away.
We had 2 fountains, yeah.
Next year, let's incorporate some more movement, some lighting, some pyrotechnics.
I'm about it.
I want to hire an IT squad for mine.
I think that would put me over the top. I think I need some pyrotechnics.
We need some sponsors with some cash prizes. For these crazy ideas.
I have a friend who is a engineering teacher, and he builds like robots for like the battle bots.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, can you just make me a cake thing that spins? And he did. He brought it over. It lit up and everything for last year. And then when I plugged it in for the competition, it just sat there like a load of shit. It just didn't do anything.
You guys need some meat fights going on. Just get some little robots with meat on them and just.
Wait, I like where you're going with this. Like battle bots, but with meat.
Yeah, meat fights, man.
What about gravy wrestling?
Whoa! Is that an official decree? Is that an official decree?
Look back at the pictures of the cake.
Yeah.
The pigs were wrestling in gravy. I decree that there must be gravy wrestling next year.
I like this new king.
I think we could talk Aaron into wrestling around in some gravy. You know,
I feel like that might be a summer camp thing.
Hot, that's gravy wrestling's definitely a summertime sport.
I don't know. The winter was probably pretty interesting.
This gravy is frozen. Why does he do it during the winter? I'm cut.
It's a comfort sport.
Some hot gravy. Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. Gen Z can't stop raving about the Harder Brunch Patreon.
Patreon.com/Harder Brunch slaps.
No cap, the Harder Brunch podcast is bussin' on God.
Move over, boomer. Gen Z's here to talk to you about the Harder Brunch Patreon.
Harder Brunch podcast on Patreon, $3 a month, low key is steal.
The Harder Brunch podcast deadass has me bricked up every day.
Listen to these all totally real testimonials.
No, like I'm getting paid to do this, don't worry. Yeah. No, you think I do this for free? No.
The Harder Brunch podcast deadass slaps. Sound younger! The Harder Brunch podcast deadass slaps.
Just go to patreon.com/Harder Brunch.
The Patreon After Brunch podcast hits different. That shit makes you feel shit.
The Harder Brunch podcast fucks.
Hi, and welcome back to the Harder Brunch podcast. Man, this some what do you got there, Thad?
Oh, Dyke, I'm just drinking coffee out of a plastic cup for some reason. But it's not about what I'm drinking it out of, it's what's in the cup, as some would say. And right now, it's a little tinker.
Yeah?
This is tinker stuff.
Yeah, you just put it in a plastic cup for fun?
No, there's a lot of different mechanisms I could put it in. This was
that's what people call what they drink out of. Usually mechanisms.
Mechanisms? Yeah. It's kind of what it is. Anyways, despite that, this is Tinker Coffee. If you're not drinking coffee, you probably voted for the wrong guy. I don't want to get political, but if you don't drink Tinker Coffee, you probably voted for the wrong guy.
If you don't drink Tinker Coffee, you're not even black.
Yeah, you're not black if you don't do that.
Oh my gosh, Tinker Coffee, I love it. What I love about it, it's full bodied and it's like low acid, so I don't have that like upset tummy when I drink it. And also, if you use promo code BRUNCH, you get 25% off a Tinker Coffee subscription.
So they just do promo code BRUNCH?
Just do promo code BRUNCH.
Promo code BRUNCH.
Man, I do want to real quick. I do want to say a shout out to I got a feature at Helium Comedy Club all week for comedian Dusty Slay, and couldn't have been a nicer dude.
He was great.
It was so much fun. Did you go?
I met him today, right?
No, he wasn't there.
Okay, never mind.
Who did you meet?
The other comedian, man, with the Brunch Harder shirt.
Oh no, that was he's just Dusty.
Oh, that's Dustin Burger.
Yeah, I thought that was the same name. I'm bad.
He was probably just going around telling people, "Hey guys, I'm Dusty Slay.
I'm a comedian named Dusty."
And everyone's like, "Yeah, I heard that you're at Helium this week." Yeah, that was me.
Dusty Slay is he's a Southern comic, and he's hilarious. He's got a Netflix special. He's a clean comic though, so I had to work clean for 5 shows, and they like asked me if I had 20 minutes of clean comedy, and I was like, I sure do. And I figured out I have exactly 20 minutes of clean. I don't have 21 minutes, but I have 20 minutes of clean comedy.
They're just like, one more joke. You're like,
no, I'm sorry. I gave it all to you. Left it all on the field.
I do recognize him. He's funny.
Yeah, he's that level of. So here's a perfect example of what level of famous it is. You know his face, but you don't know his name exactly.
That was my problem.
So we went to
get more famous this weekend.
We went out to have cigars after the second show on Friday. We went to Nikki Blaine's, and we walked, and the server was like very excited when she saw him, but she wasn't sure why. She was just like,
mullet,
what's your name? And he was like, Dusty. And she was like, I knew it. She was like, oh my gosh. And she was like, I got to take a selfie with you. And then we go and sit down, and I was like, I was like, this is a weird question, but like, how famous are you? Like, does that happen all the time? He's like, it happens more often now. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. But super stand-up guy. One of my favorite things about doing comedy is that as soon as you get something that feels good, you immediately gets followed by something that's humbling. So like the first show on Friday was amazing. It was a sold out crowd. Obviously they're there to see him, but you know, I had a really hot set. I felt really good about it. Like I've listened back to the tape and people were just laughing like start to finish. And then I went out while Dusty's doing his meet and greet, you know, and I just hear this lady go like, oh my gosh, that was maybe one of the best comedy shows I've ever been to. Dusty is so funny, so great. First guy, meh. I'm standing right behind her, and her friend is just like, he's right there.
Oh, that's super humbling.
Yeah.
You should have just walked up to them and be like, hey, that hurt.
I have feelings too, lady.
I'm real. And speaking about real, I got to interrupt that whole story to talk to you about Interruptland beer. Campside Pale Ale. It's so good.
That was the copy.
They said they don't care about the syllables.
Okay.
It's so good.
That's the first time you said the name of the beer right. They sponsored us since the summer, and you actually you called it Campfire for 6 months straight.
I did call it Campfire because it's fire, and there's a fire on the campside.
That's what I do sometimes. I just look at the pictures and I don't read the words. It's like a pictograph.
Yeah, that's how I read the menus when I'll have that picture.
Just point to it.
But anyways, it's really good, and the summer's coming up, so you want to drink this beer. All right, let's get back to our guest.
Are you a comedy fan?
I am.
Do you ever go to see live local comedy?
Joe Coy was my last live guy, and I think I was in Florida.
Nice.
And his tour bus just pulled up to the same hotel that I was at, and that's how I found out. And I was like, oh, well, he must be close if he's having a tour bus at our hotel. And so we went that night, man. It was like $125 a ticket though.
$125.
Yeah. It was something like that. It was fun.
Yeah, those are my goals, just to price out everybody.
Wait, are you saying you want meat cakes to be $125 one year?
No, stand up.
Oh, okay.
Those Impractical Jokers.
Yeah.
She got me Sal tickets.
Oh,
And we
Sal
went and saw
Conley?
him downtown recently too.
Nice.
That was good.
Awesome. Joe Coy is, oh my God, he's huge.
He'd always talk about his son jacking off in the grocery store.
Wait, that happened?
The Joe Coy joke.
Well, now you have something to look forward to when that baby comes around.
I know. I hope that happens to me. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Is this your first child?
It is.
You're like, that I know about.
My ex was a nanny. I've raised a couple kids. I like kids a lot. I'm quitting the industry to go raise this kid full time.
Awesome.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's great. The Sauce Boss did that.
It's going to be a full time job. So I guess I'm turning into going from restaurant food to child nutrition. Is the way I look at it. So.
Oh, okay.
Are you just going to feed him lots of meat?
Yeah.
We're going to end up with a whole frozen food line probably.
But for real,
Or
are
pouches.
you going to develop baby food? I can see you being the face of the new baby food.
It's going to
Pureed
happen.
pork.
You know what I mean?
Meat in the squeeze tubes the kids like.
Yeah.
Spam spray.
And vegan babies are us. You can do that.
Go-gurt, so meat go or something like
Go
that.
food.
Go meat?
It's tofu to go.
Baby foods are kind of where it's at. If you really want to make billions in the future, if you make the best baby food, that's every single baby.
I feel like there's
That's everybody covered right there. That's 100% of the market.
It's everybody.
What was your first like kitchen job?
My first kitchen job, I was a lunch lady at Express Scripts by the airport, the international airport. So my girlfriend at the time's boss ran that kitchen. She was a kitchen manager, and I was like 18. It was my first kitchen job. I had to wear a hairnet, and then I had to wear a beard net.
Nice.
Because it was one of those corporate kitchens, But I was just cleaning, maybe making $9.50 an hour. And I had my own special quesadilla that people would come get, like a spicy quesadilla, and it wasn't on the menu. And that I remember kind of stealing the show from my first job.
Wow.
We feed 300 people twice a day there, so it was kind of hard. Just a lot of volume.
Now, were you always like self-taught, or did you go to school?
I didn't go to culinary school. I went straight to food competitions on TV and stuff. Yeah.
What was the first food competition?
We did a bunch of local stuff to try to get to World Food Championships back in 2016. So we were doing a bunch of bacon competitions. I forget what that was called. We did 8 across the country. It's a long time ago now. So we won 8 bacon competitions across the country and got our golden ticket.
How do you win a bacon?
So you're a ringer here. We didn't know this. Let's take that trophy back.
Hey, never show all your cards. My cards are back before social media anyway, so I can't even show them.
Oh, that is perfect. Well, wait, what is a bacon? Can you tell me that? What's a bacon comp?
Like, this was a meat competition. So, like, for the bacon competition, it was, show your personality through a bacon dish. And the chef I was working for at the time, we were making marshmallows. So we made a Oktoberfest marshmallow with beer in the gelatin, and then torched it and rolled it in graham cracker, pretzel, potato chip, chocolate, and bacon, and called it Happy Hour on a Stick.
Oh, wow.
And that was a winner, because no one else is making marshmallows with beer in it and whatever. Always a winner.
That's
just outside the box is where I've always been.
That's like, you know what? If you'd asked me to do like 3 different things with marshmallows, I feel like I would be stumped on the second one. Like,
we had 200 flavors of marshmallows.
Oh my God. Wow.
Wait, what?
Any flavor you could think of that's fat-free became a marshmallow.
All right, chocolate.
That took 3 years because it's not fat-free and it's alkaline.
Oh, that's a hard one.
That was a really hard one to figure out.
Wow, I thought I was picking an easy one.
All right. Chef said she worked on that for 7 years before we made a chocolate marshmallow.
Wow.
It's very hard to make fat in a marshmallow.
Now, do you like marshmallows? Are you like a marshmallow?
I've probably had 60,000 marshmallows. I know because I had to
so not anymore.
Skewer them, right?
Yeah.
And I'd skewer them before my events. So it's like, okay, 1,200 skewers ready to go. And I did hundreds of events. I've sampled marshmallows out to just a percentage of the population.
Wow.
That's how you got to sell them. There were $1 a marshmallow in a bag of 10, so it was $10 for a bag of these marshmallows. And that's where I learned how to sell things. Just face to face.
I mean this in the most sincere way. As a new meat king, you scare me. You know so much. And I'm like looking over here at Zach, like we're talking about doing teams for like next year. If Zach if you guys teamed up, it would be a problem. I could just see you guys getting together.
He might be here for a long time.
Like, I mean, I could see you guys making a sentient meat cake. Like that.
It's the AI.
Yeah, AI
chat cake. Please don't eat me.
Those are my fears right now. And I'm shaking.
Chat GTBeef.
There it is.
Chat GTBeef.
That might be the name of the episode.
Chat GTBeef. There we go. I decree it.
Another decree. Where's that sound drop? Nice.
Ooh, I like that one.
Oh my gosh. Do you now a lot of time are you guys you do like a vacation or anything before you have this baby?
We tried to go down to Brown County and so she could float in a pool in a hotel, but it was a little trashy. we didn't even stay both nights.
Was there like stuff in the pool?
Yeah, it was like sand, and we don't really take our own camper camping, so we didn't really like the idea of the dirty hotel that time. But we could be picky.
Yeah,
because he's a meat prince.
Yeah, I don't think that's picky. I think that's like this pool's gross.
You just don't want.
I think like you remember things being better when you were a kid, and then you go back and do them as an adult, and you're like, man, I was so easily amused.
Yeah, when you're a kid, you just don't give a shit. You're having a good time.
Well, Zach had sleepovers in a sex hotel, so those were different times.
You can make every hotel a sex hotel, Zach, if you try hard enough.
I mean, that's very true. That's very true.
You can do it by yourself.
Yeah, but these were actual sex hotels for real, though.
What was it? Your parents that took you?
What?
No.
Tell me about your childhood.
that was legit. Yeah, that was a real memory of me.
There was someone that like on this podcast told us that their parents took them and they would put the kids in one room and then they would go to another room and there was like a Sega Genesis or something.
Oh, that's a great idea though, because they got slides in the rooms and everything. And
then you and your sister just go down the cum slide, or we can edit that part out.
This isn't the after brunch.
Now that we're deep into it, Casey, why don't you go ahead and Google 240 Sweet? And that was the Marshmallow Company. And you'll see the wave of damage that happened just in the Google images.
And I do want to make sure I'm understanding this correctly. It was a whole Marshmallow hotel?
Go to Google Images.
Yes.
Like a whole suite that's just full of marshmallows.
240 was a play on the softball stage of sugar.
I mean, how many people got diabetes directly after that day? Like, you can't sleep on marshmallow. You'll absorb the sugar.
Oh, I've seen
There's Marcus up top.
Yeah.
Marcus is a CEO of over 100 companies. My aunt was a CEO of her own companies, and they did not get along. And it was a big pissing contest, and then he has more money, so he took us down.
This would be a great movie, like on Netflix, like Marshmallow Wars. Nope.
I don't think anyone's battling against this.
You have an idea, and it can only scale so far.
Yeah.
Marshmallow could only scale so far. It could never go to 2.5.
I feel
it
like
could never go to 5 million.
Marshmallow had its peak in the 80s with the Ghostbusters. After that, what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's like...
Make a bigger Marshmallow Man?
Yeah, like we've seen it.
Like
when we were 4.
Like there's the two, I forget, I'm going to butcher their name, but there was like two like sisters and it's like Blonde Ladies Popcorn or whatever. And they just sell like fancy popcorn and small, like boutique.
Are you
popcorn.
talking about the place in Broderpool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just pop in.
Just
pop in.
Yeah, that's it.
The place that you did comedy at?
Yeah.
It's really good.
Very tired.
Have you guys been there?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's
but
great.
I mean, I think like if you would ask me how much could you scale up popcorn, I'd be like, I don't know.
Well, they moved locations to another part in Broderpool, and they serve beer and stuff now too.
Yeah. I've done comedy up there. It's a great thing. But I figured you could do a fancy thing with marshmallows like that too. If you could scale up popcorn.
He's legally not allowed to. Why are we pitching him marshmallow ideas that he cannot do?
Listen, why don't you do it? And he'll just give you the information.
I'll CFO it, but I can't. I can't own that.
Yeah.
I can't think of a thing that I would be less into than marshmallows. My heart would not be into it.
It has to be one of several revenue streams. You can't just rely on the mallow.
Yeah.
You know,
even with 200 different kinds.
That's a sticky situation.
All right.
Hey, there we go. I like white puns.
I used to have a burger food truck, and I feel like I'm just like so much trauma.
Burger Beast, right?
So much trauma from the food truck life that like I'm very interested when anyone else has done it and like to hear what their history and their stories are.
Kill it. I could do 7,000 people a day.
Wait, what?
Because all of my execution was the marshmallows on a stick, and it's a foot long. You torch it and then hit it with graham cracker chocolate, and it's out the window. Yeah, I couldn't take money
easy.
fast enough.
And there
you
was
put up 2
drink.
POS to try to keep up with how quick the
I think I know what I want to be when I grow up.
There was that marshmallow drink too, wasn't there?
We had a frozen hot chocolate with the marshmallow whip.
No.
And handmade graham cracker and a bubble tea.
It was
straw.
amazing.
Are marshmallows selling like that in the summertime though?
Come on.
Yeah.
Torch it, and it was 27-degree cold hot chocolate.
Is the Meat King allowed to lie?
Is a frappe.
These are starting to sound like lies. People had to like keel over from diet. Like you weren't killing anybody with a sugar overdose.
I actually did the math, and my frozen hot chocolate had half the calories of a pint of Ben and Jerry's.
Are you serious?
So it was like 500 calories for 16 ounces.
I'm in. I'm in.
So you tell fat chicks like half the calories of ice cream, bitch, come get it.
Well, I won't call them fat chicks or bitches, but because that's how you lose sales.
You say it to their kids.
The new Meat King says fat bitches. All right, we didn't want that to happen, but it happened. Okay, but he's still our Meat King, and we're going to respect him. Sorry, keep going.
I don't know what to do. Or I would just stand out in front of the truck with my leggings showing off the moose knuckle.
No, that's it. We're gonna make some money this summer.
Let's do it.
Oh my gosh. What? So, do you think that you think you're done for good in the industry?
I got 2 mouths to feed at home, and that's what I like to focus on now.
That's great.
And mine.
And Adam might have to come over.
I live
dinner.
like not even 5 minutes from him. So
Are we still gonna post the hot content, the hot meat content that you're making inside the home?
For sure. The Instagram will live on. There might be baby bottles every once in a while.
yeah, your AI.
We'll have AI chat GTBeef take care of that for me.
Nice.
I like that. A restaurant where you could have a full conversation with your food before you eat it.
You could ask it anything you want.
Yeah,
It's like a date and dinner all like in one, and it talks back to you.
Oh, that sounds pretty lonely and sad.
Welcome to my life.
I heard you can ask Chat GTBeef to write a good podcast.
Yeah, maybe.
We probably should have done that. Oh my gosh. Can you drop a beat for me, Zach? Let's get plugs out. Where can people find you and follow you on social media and keep up with the Meat King?
I'm Chef Stephen Hackney at chef_Hackney on Instagram. Look me up. Food speaks for itself.
Nice.
And the King title speaks for itself.
For the next year. Round of applause.
Thank you.
Rooster, if someone wants to buy a hookah, where will they get one at?
You can hit me up on Instagram, Rooster Misfit. Pretty much anything, Rooster Misfit. You can just message me on it. I'm the only one.
You gotta find one of his 6 accounts though. He gets banned every single day.
Well, that's just Facebook. I get banned all the time. Like every other month, I'm banned. So
what are you doing?
I like to shit post, and that gets a lot. But I have been banned for completely stupid reasons, like basically calling a video game character a hoe, and I got banned for a month for that. So
You can learn a lot from Rooster here.
Yeah. There's a lot to.
Well, what was that video game player wearing?
Was he asking to be called a hoe?
There's a character in Fallout 76 called Minerva, and people were always asking where she is. And one of the people said, "Leave Minerva alone. She's mine." All I said was, "You can have her. She a hoe," and that was it.
You triggered too many people,
I guess.
Daddy's Shay.
You can follow me at sheaho.com. It's still being built. No, follow me at Thad McKee for Instagram and Twitter. That's all.
Zach Roan.
You find me at Zach_Roan on all social media.
Guys, we're going to be putting up pictures of meat cakes all week long. They're amazing. This was so fun. We're already starting to talk about 2024.
Yeah.
So if you missed out this year, please come next year. It's going to be great. Also, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Harder Brunch. And we will see you next time. You guys have a great one.
The Meat King is out.
Thanks for having us on.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.